Well, we're halfway through the high school hockey season. The Eagan Wildcats, it's been a rough start, been improving little by little. Good outing last Saturday. Great opportunity to measure themselves today against one of the conference's best teams, as the Lakeville South Cougars are here inside the Eagan Civic Arena. Again, pleased to be joined by Nathan Cron. My name is Mike Cook, and we're glad you're watching us here on this special Monday afternoon MLK Day broadcast of a makeup game from a couple weeks ago when Mother Nature said we are going to postpone this one for a while, but we're here today. We're ready to play some hockey. And Nathan, we mentioned the Wildcats. They played at Lakeville North on Saturday. That was a game they led 4-3 early in that third period, but North got the final four for a 7-4 final.
Well, the Lakeville North Panthers are a good hockey team, a good club with a good pedigree, as are the Lakeville South Cougars. The Eagan Wildcats have got to put together 3 periods of quality hockey, Mike Cook, and if they do that, they didn't do that against North. If they can do that here against South, they've got an opportunity to be very competitive here this afternoon.
Lakeville South comes in. I saw they were ranked 11th in the latest Let's Play Hockey rankings. They come off, they lost a tough one last time out, 4-3 against the Rosemont Irish over at the Rosemont Community Center. Had a few days to think about that one. Cats opportunity early, huge opportunity there. Save Jack Hawksprung, Robin Riley Paulus early.
Hawksprung, an experienced goalie here for the Lakeville South Cougars. The senior netminder is one of those guys who's going to be in the conversation, along with guys like Sverin over at Eastview, as you know, for goalie of the season, goalie of the year, whatever we call it here in the state of Minnesota.
Right. Well, stand corrected. That was Keaton Ori with this shot, not Paulus. We'll see Riley Paulus later on in this hockey game. He wears 7. Actually, he's out there right now. Keaton Ori is 2. Ori, one of the top goal scorers on this Wildcat squad, even though he's a blue liner. Lakeville South, they're going to battle right down at neutral. They're going to make a change over there. Josh Storm going to put a fresh 3 on for his Lakeville South Cougars as the Cats try to get into the Lakeville zone. South going to come the other way. Numbers not in their favor as Pritchard leads the rush. Pritchard gets through though, and Gabe Bly forced to make that early pad save.
Pritchard looking for a call there. I'm not sure there was much of a hook there. I think it's just really good defense by the Cats, tying up his stick and not letting him come into the zone.
Dom's with him. That's a shot and a goal. 30 or a buck 30 in. 1-0 Cougars. Pritchard with the wrister.
I'm not sure who's going to get the assist on this, but as you can see, Dom's chipped it over to Pritchard. Defense, I think that's Nichols, number 6. Yeah, he keeps backing up, and he can't do that. He's got to step into Pritchard as he comes across the line. Now, again, it's always a judgment call, but I think given the results, Mike Cook, I think Nichols probably should have stepped there.
So they're going to say that was the official shot on goal. Bottom line, let's see if we can get the assist here from Dr. Jeff Coleman. And couldn't make it out here on the poor sound system inside the Civic Arena. Nearly 2-0 South. That puck went right through the blue paint. All the way down, should be an icing on the Wildcats, and indeed it is. By the way, for Pritchard, team leading 9th tally of the 2022-23 campaign.
And we're going to find something out about the Wildcats right now, Mike Cook. I mean, are they going to fold up the tents and decide, I don't really want to play here today, or are they going to bring it? And I think it's going to be the latter. As you see, one of the Lakeville South Cougars getting tossed from the face-off circle. I think it's the latter, but that doesn't mean it may not be pretty, but I'd like to see a great and gritty effort here.
This will be number 11, Xander Billings. He's one of the 13 seniors on this Lakeville South squad. And the Cats looking to get something come out of their own zone. Cats wearing those limited edition gray home sweaters. Of course, Lakeville South all maroon. A bit of gold trim there, going left to right. Here's Beaujolais. That shot, Gus Glide with another save. Or Gabe Glide, pardon me. Gus is the forward, Gabe is the goalie.
Now you're doing it too.
Absolutely. Lafferty, he'll keep it in far side for South, right in front of the Wildcat bench. South going to change up a couple of defensemen behind the play as the puck deep in the Wildcat zone. Right in front of the litter box student section here. It's starting to fill up inside the Civic Arena for this Monday matinee. And can the Cats get it out? No, kept in nicely by the Cougars. And here comes Eagan the other way, leading the rush. This will be 17, Ben Gerard. He'll dump it in as I believe the Cats changed everybody else behind the play. Lockenmeyer in the middle. Can they get him the puck? Not yet. Now they tried. A little too far. Couldn't connect. Puck was tipped, so we shall play on. Nori knocked off the puck by Corton.
Can the Wildcats get to loose pucks? Can they be physical? Can they attack the Lakeville South Cougars? The only way, the best way for them to be competitive, I'll say it that way, in this game is for them to win the loose puck battles, get to that first, and then attack the Lakeville South Cougars, not sit back and let the Cougars set up.
Luke Johnson has the puck taken away by Lockenmeyer. Lockenmeyer trying to find Eddie Moore coming down the slot, couldn't quite connect that time. Backhand attempt. Moore is there, couldn't get a good shot off, and here come the Cougars out the other way. Ringside pass, too far for Doms, will be an icing with 3:48 elapsed. 1-0 Cougars. Look there at Will Court, check it back to Austin Doms, number 22 in red. Longtime player on this varsity squad for the Cougars.
Played a lot of shifts as a freshman along with a number of other players here for the Cougars. And now they're finally seniors, and now it's their time to shine.
Doms, 6 goals, 7 assists coming into this one. Second in goals, third in assists for the Cougars. And Lakeville South quickly back in the Wildcat zone. Lafferty tried to get it. He was knocked out, or the puck knocked away by the Wildcats. South able to keep it in down by the student section for the Wildcats. 3 Wildcats, 1 Cougar. Lafferty long shot, and Gly's going to wisely hang on. That hits him in the Big E.
I'm going to say right now, if Gly takes all the shots in the Big E, I think I'm going to be okay with that. So
exactly. Just take a look at that replay. Cats couldn't quite get it out. And I like the idea by Lafferty. They're just shoot it in.
Now, credit to Lance Murray. He had his guy tied up. That was something we did not see against the Cats' last opponent here at the Civic Arena.
That was East Ridge, that non-conference too.
East Ridge, that's right. For some reason I was blanking. I was probably thinking of East View, as I always am.
which I think we said a few times during that broadcast.
Well, I did anyway. You're the professional here.
No. If we can't laugh at ourselves.
But in any event, I mean, Murray had his guy tied up. So even if there's a spilled rebound, even if something happens there, Murray's got his guy tied up, and there shouldn't be an opportunity. Now we're going to have.
Yeah, Patterson got dropped on that far side. Yep. Gavin Goyle, and I think Goyle's going to sit.
Goyle's going to go for interference here. The puck was well away. He's finishing his hit, which is good hockey, but not. He's going to call roughing, but it's either interference or roughing. And Goyle not afraid to throw his weight around, but it's going to be a 2-minute minor, and that means the Wildcats are going to be called to the defensive pump.
Wildcat PK this year, 80%. Allowed 9 goals on 45 chances. And for the Cougars, their power play, very respectable, 27.3 coming into this one. Already up 1-0. Cougars would love to put another one on the board right now. That one was through traffic, was screened in front. Nice job with that. I think it was 19 in red, Novak. But Cats able to clear all the way down. And the Wildcat defenseman has got to do a better job of clearing it in front so Gly can have a good look at that puck. Full head of steam for the Cougars deep down into the Wildcat zone. That was Willis leading the rush. 1:23 to go, man advantage Cougars. Up top, Doms. Shadowed by Ori. Check that was Moore on the shadow. Pritchard got the goal this far for South. He'll go in right dot, sends it low. Somebody's out there with a busted stick, or without a stick, as there's a twig laying just outside the circle. Looks like everybody on the ice has their sticks, so I can't tell who that was from before, obviously. Shot, Doms. Rebound is in front, and Gly somehow makes that stop before that puck goes in.
Well, that's the kind of save that you need from Gabe Gly. You know, when you're struggling defensively to get it out, when you need a stoppage. What a nice save. That puck goes straight up into the air, into the rafters, and we'll have a defensive zone face-off with 10:56 to go here for the Wildcats.
Actually, it was Willis and Novak on the doorstep for the Cougs. Face-off back. It'd be in the Wildcat zone to the left of Gabe Gly. Guy comes in with an .860 save percentage, .384 goals against average. Went all the way thus far for the Eagan Wildcats, and here come the Wildcats, speaking of. This is A.J. Clark shorthanded. He's taken out hard by Lafferty behind the Lakeville, in the Lakeville corner. Cougs come out the other way, 4-on-3. Full head of steam, cutting down low. That's Ernst. Still has the puck. Patterson up top. They'll send it across far side, down low. 18 to go, man advantage, Lakeville South.
Cats put a premium on blocked shots. They're going to have to block a few here during this, what's left of this power play.
Which they just got some help because South couldn't quite convert the pass back to the point. As the final seconds tick off, Lakeville South about to go 0 for 1 on the PP today. Patterson's shot, Glide got back. Come fresh out of the box that time. Actually, that was Billings, I should say, off the bench for South. Up, and will that one get out? It was get out to center. Kept it. Ori, neutral zone, had the puck, albeit briefly. They're 17 in white. Ben Gerard. Gerard out there with Robbins, number 10, Grayson Robbins. Look at his third game as on the varsity. I thought he had a good game against Eastridge that last game we did.
Yeah, Robbins definitely is one of those players the coaching staff would like to see round into and push people for ice time. Like you said,
that one got in. Not sure if it was tipped. Bottom line, 2-0 Cougars as Boisjolet circles the net, gets the shot on goal. And it looks like Billings is going to be the first man to the South bench, so I'm going to guess he got a piece of it. We'll have to wait for the official announcement, but right now, shot 6-1 in favor of Lakeville South. And it's quiet inside the Eagan Civic Arena.
I'm not sure Glide ever saw. I'm not sure he saw that puck.
No.
And that's really on the defense. The defense has got to do a better job of, like you said, cleaning guys out and getting to the two loose pucks.
Don Hawksburg, he'll push it back up to neutral. South wants to just go fast. And we'll have an icing almost 8 minutes into this period.
That's something you don't see very often, icing on the goalie. I mean, I can't say I've seen it very often.
No. Still waiting to hear the official word on that goal. I guess until we hear otherwise, we're going to go with Billings. Eddie Moore wins the draw. It is Billings on the goal. We finally get the official word. Boisjolet is going to get the first assist. I didn't quite catch who got the second. Bottom line is it's 2-0 Lakeville South, and this start couldn't be much worse for the Eagan Wildcats. All the way down, should be an icing on the play, and indeed it is. Wildcats come into this one, they're 3-9 overall, but they're 0-6 in conference play. Looking up at everybody else in the South Suburban Conference.
Well, as we've said so many times before, Mike Cook, it is a very challenging conference with Division I talent on virtually every night on the other side of the ice, and this is a young Wildcat team. And I guess the question is are we going to see this is a barometer today of how they're going to compete regardless of the score. Are they going to compete with Lakeville South, or are they going to fold up and go away? And right now, they're not going away, but they got to step up the compete level.
AJ Clark, he'll keep it in as he circled back to play D, as 18 Peyton Jensen had pinched in a little bit. Hit in the corner, falling to the ice that time. One of the Wildcats, I believe it was Goyle that got knocked down. Cats trying to keep some pressure on in the Lakeville South zone. And South can send it all the way down. Not quite going to get there. Is hustling back is Isaac Martin. Probably that fifth defenseman for the Eagan Wildcats. Might have been his first shift of this hockey game. Quick shot, that one goes wide of Hawksprung. Cats still sitting on one shot on goal as we're more than 9 minutes into this one.
Well, Cats outshot Eastridge and managed to lose the game. Maybe that trend will be reversed here as maybe they can get a couple of goals with just a few shots. Not a great business model, but it might work for them.
Yep. And South is going to be offsides on that one.
Worrying sign, Gavin Goyle came to the bench. Looked like he had taken a shot. I'm not sure if we're going to see that here or not. No, we're going to see a replay of the shot here, or the offsides. And it was offsides as Cortanen wandered into the no man's land. But for the Wildcats, Goyle going off injured. Looks like he's standing up on the bench now, so maybe he's okay, but that would be a big loss for the Wildcats.
21, he's the captain of this Wildcat squad. 6 foot, 180-pound senior, number 21. And up into the netting. Faceoff should come outside the Wildcat zone, and officials are pointing that direction. Hey, first of back-to-back games for both of these squads. Lakeville South has Prior Lake on Tuesday the 17th. Eagan's going to make that trek down Highway 3 to play Rosemount. That's a 7 o'clock start. And then they're at Eastview in a Friday night hockey on the 20th at the Apple Valley Sports Arena. As Eastview came in here for the Wildcat home opener and went away with a 7-rip win. I think you and I had said during that broadcast, Eastview's outscored the Wildcat, or shut out the Wildcats. Is it 3 straight?
3 straight games.
South looking to get something going here as they go through the neutral zone far side. Just wisely dumped in. They're going to change 4 behind the play. As Jensen in for the Wildcats. Here's Robbins try to get something out. That's tipped by South, but the puck still does get out. Willis, where's the C for South, has the puck. Tried to get it to Lafferty, couldn't connect. And Hawksprung will have to play the puck behind his net. Cats with an opportunity. And that goes wide of the cage, couldn't get the shot off.
Cats working hard, no question right now. I mean, they're still working hard in this hockey game, which is what you want to see, but they've got to have to start connecting those passes.
2-on-1 if they hurry for South. They got to cross Doms. Couldn't quite get it off. He would have been a right-handed shot. That probably would have been 3-0. Said he's a lefty and couldn't get good wood on it. All the way through, Gley. He'll put the paddle down and hang on. The South has their 7th shot on goal in this hockey game. Take a look at that last opportunity for South, and there was Doms. Had a step on the Eagan D.
I'm sure he's probably thinking in his head, I still should have scored there. Or at least I should say, at least gotten it on frame.
Backhand attempt, that went across. Nice job of Gley to get to that post. Cats, 1-on-3 is just going to be poked down, that time by Danny Lockenmeyer. He'll be out there with 14, Eddie Moore. 27 is Gus Gley. Right now it's Isaac Martin, Keaton Ori back at the points. Ori, he'll come in, pinch it. Couldn't quite get the puck. Lafferty's going to punch it out for the Cougars. Got Compton with him. Lafferty shot. That is knocked aside. Whereas Corton, I should say, was with him. Another opportunity shot. Cats are absolutely scrambling on defense. But they're actually going to get this one out of harm's way. It is going to be an icing, however, but bottom line, that puck got out of there. That's the important thing if you're an Eagan fan.
Absolutely. No, that was what we call the ant scramble. Whenever you see a bunch of ants that have been disturbed, they're all running around, almost look like they don't know what they're doing. Of course, the ants know what they're doing. The Wildcats here were a little bit like a bunch of ants who didn't know what they were doing. But fortunately, it comes to Lockenmeyer, and he is able to ice the puck.
Looks like the Cats can get a clean break out of their own zone this time. Tuck ahead a little too far for Clark. Patterson with the stop for South. He'll turn, shoot it back in. He was on the right side of the red line, so we do play on. And try it again. Here's Schreiber. Couldn't quite get it out. That blast goes wide from Billings.
Lakeville South not afraid to shoot from virtually anywhere they're at inside the zone.
Try to center. Here comes Billings once again. He has the second goal, but you can't cross the blue line before the puck.
Billings looking at his teammates saying, dude, why did you do that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am really impressed with the speed of Lakeville South right now, and the Cats they're getting a little better trying to match it here, but it's still pretty one-sided on that breakout.
Yeah, the Wildcats look like they're maybe one player or one step or one pass away from being much more really being competitive and successful.
There's Pritchard. Oh, why not make it 3-rip? That looked just like his first goal, other than he went right side this time instead of left. Bottom line, 3-0 Cougars. Second of the game for number 3. 10th of the year for Pritchard.
Well, he just goes right. He goes around the defense. He goes around. Well, no, this isn't on the defense. This is on all the Wildcats that were on the ice. He goes around everybody, and nobody steps in his way. I mean, it's hockey. You've got to get in his way. You may not have to take him off his skates. I know everybody wants to make ESPN highlight Minnesota Hockey Hub or whatever. You don't have to take him off his skates, but you got to get in the way. And right now the Wildcats are not getting in the way. And then in 2 of the goals here for the Lakeville South Cougars have been basically just walk-ins.
Yep. Yeah, that last goal for the Wildcats. I mean, the Wildcats, nice job. They basically resembled traffic cones because they did not move on that one.
No,
and
you
got to get in the way. When they bring out the orange cones, that's what that was.
Yeah, you got to get in the way.
Now they get in the way there. Opportunity, and that one's deflected into the corner. Hawksprung has just one save in this hockey game for South, and that came about 20 seconds in. It's been nothing but South ever since. Patterson Pritchard, I should say, nearly got a hattie there with a tip. This game is all Lakeville South. And you said, we mentioned it at the outset, I think you in particular, Nathan, was how are the Cats going to respond if this goes as it is? Gut check time. We're halfway through the year. Backhand. Again, Lakeville South had a guy behind the Eagan defense right in front of Glide. And not quite hitting the netting.
Smart by Goyle trying to get it down deep and then chasing, and he won the race for it. Comes out for Murray, but unfortunately the Wildcats just can't control.
Yeah, Paulus and Clark were down deep. Jensen tried to dump it in for the Cats. Here come the Cougars the other way. Opportunity here, Eagan, something happening. 3-on-2 potential. Paulus going to dump that one in deep. Out there with Clark, 22, and you can see who the other Wildcat was on the far side, 21, Goyle. Good to see Goyle is back on the ice. From a blind pass, turnover. South's got to tag up. They do. 3 minutes to go in the first. It's 3-1, Lakeville South. Goyle, as the Cats change up everybody behind him. The difference between Goyle and Pritchard is there's Lakeville South converged on Goyle.
Absolutely. I mean, Goyle has to battle. It's 1-on-4 or 1-on-3 as opposed to, and he's got bodies he has to go through to try to get into Hawksprung, and Pritchard just didn't have that. So, I mean, it's, on the one hand, it's easy, right? It's easy to figure out what's going on and what's going wrong because we're up here. It's a little harder on the ice. I admit that, and I understand that. But at the same time, these are high school boy varsity hockey players. They need to understand how they need to close people down and give their goalie a chance.
South's going to dump it in. They're going to make a 4-player change once again. As the Cats look to get something going here with 2 minutes to go in this first period. Hawksprung will steer that one aside.
It's a crafty little dump in that time, I will say, by Keaton Horry.
Lafferty brings it up right side wing. Drop pass. Shot, and it was deflected that time by Ori as he hustled back on D for the Wildcats. Lakeville South does continue to hold the puck, however. That's Willis. Here's way out Patterson. And that puck is loose. Gly is sprawled. He's going to get back in time. Quick shot, Doms. That one goes just wide of the cage.
Wildcats have got to find that puck, and they've got to get to it first.
And now just dump it down would be just fine if you're a Wildcat fan. And it's going to be 4-0. Doms gets a goal. Four goals on 12 shots. And again, let's keep an eye on this Wildcat defense, and they just let Doms get free. Nobody watching him.
Too much puck watching, I think. And then on top of that, just a couple of times in that sequence, and we're not going to see it, even though we've got an award-winning TV crew here and truck, we're not going to see it, but because we can't watch that whole sequence. But what I will tell you is there were a couple times in that sequence, Mike Cook, where the Wildcats had blind passes.
Absolutely.
They threw it blind, expecting one of their teammates to bail them out instead of taking responsibility and saying, hey, I got to get this thing out myself, or I got to get to my forehand, or I got to do whatever. And so they had an opportunity to get it out, had an opportunities to try to do something else with it. Instead, it ends up in the back of the net.
Yep. And here's Isaac Martin for the Wildcats. Let's see if he can get it out this time. Far side over there is 27, Gus Gly. Cougars keeping it in once again. Shot. Can the Cats clear it out? No. Nice job. That was 23 in red. Corton that came in with the intercept. He'll just circle around this Wildcat defense. He's got Kunkel up top. Shot that never got through. Rebound. No, didn't get good one on it. It was Corton. Inside 30 to go in the period. Ref had his arm up for icing, but there was no way that puck was getting that far.
Good job by Martin pulling that puck down and getting a stick to it. That's the kind of hard work and effort that the Wildcats are going to need to climb back into and make this game competitive.
Here come the Wildcats. Goyle, can they get something in the final 8 seconds? No. Boisjoli with an opportunity, and it forces Gly to make a big save. Nice job, Lance Murray, though, to clean up that rebound, and the Cats are going to go to the locker room. Down 4 rip.
Yeah, well, they were dominated, certainly. Let's face it, Mike. You know, they were dominated for the majority of the first period. They had a couple sequences. They had several sequences where they put some shots towards the net, but they've got to be better. They've got to work hard, and they've got to be better. They've got to close these guys down. They can do that, but they're going to have to make the effort here in the second period.
And we shall see if the Cats can do just that. We're going to take a break. It's after 1. Lakeville South 4. Your Eagan Wildcats nothing.
Do not adjust your television screens. It is 4-0 to the favor of the Lakeville South Cougars. The Eagan Wildcats struggled through a first period marked with a handful of defensive breakdowns and a real lack of offensive output. They certainly had some effort at times during the period, but here you're going to see the first goal from Pritchard, who just walks in unmolested. Billings is going to shoot from distance. It's going to be deflected. And again, you've got a player at the top of the crease who's able to tap that one in. Pritchard's second goal, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wildcats just goes right around and beats Glide low on the glove side. And then finally, Doms. Watch him, he's going to stand there on the right side of your screen as one of the defenders is watching the puck and not paying attention to where Doms is. And so that's how we get to 4-rip in favor of the Lakeville South Cougars. Question, Mike Cook. I'm with Nathan Cron here along with Mike Cook. And Mike, the question I think really coming into the second period is, how are these Wildcats going to respond? Are they going to fold up and go away, or are they going to bring everything that they can to try to close this gap, demonstrate a level of competitiveness, and try to build for the next game or the next 3 games?
Yeah, I think that's something you're going to have to look at. Let's see how they come out. I mean, you've got to make that early push in the second period. Hopefully you can get a goal if you're the Eagan Wildcats and get back in this one. I mean, admittedly, down 4-0, it's going to be hard to come back and get the W, period, in the early to start of the second. But if the Cats continue to play like they are, I mean, this game will be in running time in the third without question, probably with comfort. But we'll see. As you said, this is gut check time for the Eagan Wildcats. We're halfway through the regular season. And, is this where your leaders step up? And do they, kick somebody in the backside, so to speak? And do they hold each other accountable? I think we're really going to find out here in this next, especially 17 minutes of the second period.
Yeah, the question I think here for the Wildcats is, what are they going to bring? And I guess me personally, as I watch these Wildcats out there, I'd like to see Goyle, Gerard, Glide. I'd like to see the seniors, the captains. I'd like to see those guys really step up and put the team on their back and really say, I'm going to create scoring opportunities. I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that defensively we're covered. But we'll see what happens.
And I want to see the juniors and sophomores follow that lead of your seniors that are, this is their last go-around. They're going to give it. But, will the underclassmen follow along, or do they opportunity in front for South? Or do those underclassmen just kind of be like, yeah, we're just going to kind of play it out? Not only tonight, but just for the rest of the season.
Opportunity for Glide as he knifes in. He's one-on-one with Hawksbrug. And Jack Hawksbrug to the defensive pump. Yep. Gus Glide demonstrating the real leadership that we need out of him as a captain. Was just talking about it. Watch it. He intercepts it there at the blue line, comes knifing in, gets it on his forehand. Hawksbrug's glove just too quick for the senior Wildcat captain. Sorry to interrupt you there, Mike Cook.
I was going to say, that was a gorgeous glove save to Rob Glide. He said Hawksbrug, boy, I tell you, he didn't see much at all in that first period. The Cats didn't spend a whole lot of time in the Lakeville zone. I think he spent more time just chasing the puck behind the net on Eagan clears or Eagan icings. But again, that's, a guy like that, you mentioned it, Gus Glide, a captain on this squad, come out trying to set the tone early. True, you didn't get the goal, but you had an opportunity.
Absolutely. I'll take it. If you're watching these Wildcats against the Cougars today, you will take that every day.
There's Doms. Wilson deep for Lakeville South. He knocked off the puck that time. I believe that was Lance Murray, number 16. Murray, who got his first career goal 2 games ago against East Ridge. Big hit that time down low. And could South bring it out? Good aggressive forecheck that time by A.J. Clark for the Wildcats. Forcing Pritchard into trouble, and we've got a whistle because
offside.
That's what I thought it was.
Puck's going to come out, come back in.
But again, nice job. A.J. Clark, 22, and he's battling hard for these Wildcats. He's one of the juniors on this squad.
I'm not calling for a 4-goal comeback here necessarily, Mike Cook, but Lakeville South have got to do whatever they can. They don't want to be complacent here. I mean, they
absolutely.
They don't want to be complacent. Complacency is how you either have bad performances, take dumb penalties, or create scoring opportunities.
Or you cause a turnover there, but Justin Schreiber couldn't get that shot off. Schreiber also got his first career goal in that East Ridge win. This will be Peyton Jensen for the Wildcats, looking to regroup down in the corner. Battles their 1-on-2. Then goes wide of the cage. Can the Cats bring it out? Nice pass up to the middle. Schreiber, he'll wisely just dump it in. Cats are not going to change any. Well, they're going to change a couple. 14:40 to go here in the second. 4-0 Lakeville South for those of you just tuning in. That goes just wide. Rebound is there. Schreiber almost nearly had his second of the year.
Jensen doing a nice job throwing it towards the net. Of course, you'd love for it to be on frame, but at this point, the Wildcats to create offensive pressure.
Hoffman aggressive, beats Nichols, tries to beat Nichols down that left side. Good job by Christian to stay with the Lakeville South Cougar. And Glide coming off the boards, far side. Cats are going to dump it in. They're going to change up. Schreiber heads off. 1, 2, 3, 4 fresh Wildcats jump onto the ice. And shot Hawksprung forced to make the big save. So face-off will be to his left. And I like that play by Lockenmeyer. Just shoot it on net. See what happens.
Absolutely. No, you're not gonna score if you don't shoot against Hawksburg. He's a good goalie. So that was a trip coming right out of the gate. No call there from the official as Moore went down off the faceoff.
From South, 4-on-2 potential, but they are offside as well. 13:49 to go here in the second. Faceoff will come. Should be just outside the zone in front of the Cougars bench. South able to control the puck off the draw. And Patterson, he'll check that number 7 will dump it back in. That's Lafferty, the senior defenseman. We got 13 seniors on this Lakeville South squad.
Should be a recipe for success.
Could be.
Having a senior squad, an experience, and they're not just seniors, they're experienced seniors. A lot of these guys have been playing since they've been freshmen or sophomores.
Yeah, nice job there. Glide had a good look at that one. Eddie Moore in front, keeping the area clear for his netminder.
And that's what you want to hear. Glide had a good look at that one on the way in. He shouldn't get beat by pucks he sees coming clean and clear. So the Wildcats can keep the sight lines open for Glide. He should be able to stand tall for him.
Again, we mentioned Glide's numbers earlier in this hockey game. His save goals against average is pushing 4, and his save percentage is .860. But let's face it, he's faced a lot of rubber this year and a lot of grade A chances for the other team. And really, for the most part, he stood up well.
Yeah, it's the defense in front of him and when I say defense, that's not on the defensemen per se, because there are 5 skaters out there and they all need to be good.
Correct.
Playing defense. But the defense the defense in front of him has to be better.
Cats are going to bring it up far side, dump it in his own 2-on-1. Can he get it across to Robbins? They can't go! Grayson Robbins, career goal number 1.
Oh, Grayson Robbins had the table set for him beautifully that time by Briley Kroc-Prung. Check that, that's AJ Clark on the far side, 22. And look at Robbins on the backside, stick down, bent knees, ready to finish. Nice job, Grayson Robbins.
Get that man the puck.
Clark sets the table, and Robbins dines sumptuously, and it's 4-1 Eagan. 4-1 as the Eagan Wildcats start to climb back into this a little bit.
I like that, dines sumptuously.
Well, we use that in soccer occasionally, but it seemed appropriate.
I thought they said there was a second assist. I think it might have been Peyton Jensen. We'll have to find out for sure. But South had an opportunity there, but again, the Eagan D stood up that time nicely. Cats looking a lot better this period early on, as we're about 5 minutes into period number 2.
Well, and as I said, Cats are going to have to. I'm just not sure if we're going to have icing here. No, we're not going to have icing, because that's going to take a deflection. But
that hit the official, actually.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Just going to leave it. Patterson will leave it near side. Corton's going to go back. They'll get the puck for South. Cuts across, cuts up. Blue, red, blue. Leaves it. I think he was trying to go across for Ernst. It was intercepted. Patterson. And nearly coming back on that for the tip was number 23, Corton. Nice set up that time by Lakeville South coming down, but just couldn't quite connect. Near side, here's Court and gets it back. That's Jack Olin, 29 with the puck. Olin got the goal against Rosemount that got the Cougars within 4-3 late. They just couldn't quite get that equalizer last time out down at the community center in Rosemount. Wraparound attempt, rebound is there, and somehow that does not go in. Doms gets robbed on the rebound.
It's a big hit behind the net. I'm not sure who it was. If it was, we might see it here, we might not. We do see it right there at the beginning of the clip. I think that's 18, that's Jensen, and he's laying the lumber to somebody.
And he's going to sit for 2 minutes for those efforts.
Well, it's interesting. I did not see, I don't know, maybe you did, Mike Cook. I did not see a referee's arm in the air after that hit. Maybe I'll have to go back and look at that replay one more time, but in any event, Jensen to the box doesn't help the Wildcats.
Yeah, I looked back out. There was at neutral. There was one of the refs. He did hit his arm out with the fist closed to signify it, but I did not notice if he had his arm up earlier. But bottom line, power play, Cougars up 4-1. Nope, couldn't get a good wood on that one. Wisely cleared all the way down by the Eagan Wildcats. Isaac Martin, number 12, out on the PK right now for your Eagan Wildcats. A.J. Clark back there as well. Kevin Goyle, 21, is out there. And a fourth member was that was Clark that
Goyle
bit
just
the boards.
Goyle just about picked the Lakeville South pockets there and would have had a golden 1-on-0 opportunity on Hawksburg.
Here's Pritchard. He's got 2 already. Okay, tries to leave it for Lafferty. Lafferty does get it. Lafferty shot. Kind of a little knuckler got through. Saved by Gley. I think that with that puck being tipped, that just throws your timing off just a hair as a goalie, but to Gley's credit, he stayed right with it. Good pressure night now by the Cougars. Kept in Lafferty. He'll leave it far side. That's Willis. Coming across and out. 46 to go, man advantage for the Cougars. Willis. There's Pritchard. Who said Pritchard, number 3, is looking for his third. Doms. Nope, Pritchard's actually going to hang on to it.
Pritchard lucky he didn't get a penalty there.
Pritchard staying with it. Sends it across. Nice defensive play in front by Martin. Lakeville South had a man set up on the near side. He was all alone. Gley, that one goes wide. No, couldn't quite get that one home either. Another opportunity, and South finally scores on the power play. 5-1 Lakeville South. This goal is going to come at 7:34 of period number 2. Again, good pressure by Lakeville South. I'm not sure who got it. If it's going to be Willis, 18 here.
I think it's going to be Willis on the far side.
Yep.
He tucks it in just over the pad of Gley. That's a situation where the defense just eventually wore down. It's the period of the long change, Mike Cook, and you get a sense there. And I did not pick up if there'll be any assists on that. I'm sure there will.
Yeah.
Of the second period, goal scored by number 18. Aiden Willis, assisted by number 3, Tate Pritchard.
So there you go, Willis from Pritchard on the power play. 5-1 for the number 11 Lakeville South Cougars.
Before the Cougar power play, I was going to say to you, Mike Cook, it looked like the Wildcats had a little extra jump in their step.
They did, absolutely did.
Maybe they still do, but we're gonna find out here very shortly.
Lance Murray up ahead, tried to hit Gley. Gley did get a piece of that. It went into the Lakeville South zone. Hawksburg forced to play it. Can South get it out? No, they cannot. This will be Lockenmeyer for the Cats at the half wall. Again, just kind of blindly threw one back towards the back, and Lakeville South quickly intercepted that. Cats, however, able to keep it in. And there you go, get the puck that time. 17, Ben Gerard, who had circled back to the point. And instead, out comes South. They're going to dump it in, and they're going to make a full lineup change as the puck deep into the Wildcat zone as we're halfway through this one. 5-1 Cougars here on ETV. You're home for Wildcat Sports. 3-on-2 for Eagan if they hurry. Goyle does stay on sides on the near side, or check that Gley on the near side. A little extra shove along the boards that time. Nichols on the receiving end of that.
You could see what Nichols was trying to do, but it just didn't quite come off for him.
Collision down below at the blue line. And Courtney lost that one in his skates. Opportunity for the Wildcats. Here's 17 going to get all the way through off of Gerard's stick. Just saw that hit of Nichols, and I was thinking, there haven't really been a lot of big hits this game.
No,
it's just kind of up and down flow.
No, it hasn't. It has not been an overly physical game, Mike.
Very free flowing.
And I'm not sure, honestly, I'm not sure that benefits the Wildcats.
No, not at all.
Because this Lakeville South team is so fast and so well coached and so skilled that I think muddying up the water, so to speak, might actually help the Wildcats quite a bit.
Pritchard just wide on the attempt for the Hattie. Good rush that time by the Cougars. Here's Pritchard down low. Got Willis with him. Doms was out there as well, part of that trio that came into the zone in a hurry. But this time the puck is going to squirt back out. Nice play that time by the Wildcats. Number 11, Schreiber, to intercept and knock it down. Big swing and a miss there on the Wildcat check. Was that Paulus in deep for the Wildcats?
Yeah.
It was.
Paulus was going hard, but he did create a turnover.
Yep. And we Rafter shot.
Wow, that had a lot of mustard on it as it was coming up and over.
Wildcat boys hockey sponsors. Jimmy
7:07 to go here. Second period.
Kitchen and rail
5-1 Lakeville South.
It only feels like an indulgence.
An opportunity for the Cougars last time down.
Gutters and restoration.
And Pritchard goes just wide of the Wildcat goaltender, Mr. Gabe Gly.
Well, great effort by Justin Schreiber there to back check. If he's not hustling back, Pritchard gets that square on his stick, and he's got a real chance against Gly. As it was, he never even had a chance in slow motion. Real time, it looked like he had a chance, but slow motion, you could see that was going to be almost impossible.
You know, I like what I've seen out of Schreiber. He's starting to get a little more opportunity on this varsity squad. I think he's played pretty well at both ends. He's got a goal, nearly had one earlier this game, but he's getting back and he's playing smart.
Opportunity for the Wildcats if they can get to this puck first.
Absolutely. And Murray is going to recover it just outside of the blue line. Cats do tag up. A.J. Clark will go in. He's going to shadow number 11, Xander Billings. Billings had a goal earlier for the Cougars. And right around on that far side opportunity. There's Lafferty with a nice rush for South. Long shot. Glide kicks that one aside. And we've got a whistle because it was Lakeville South on his tush. Yeah, it might have been a hand pass.
Yeah, I'm feeling for Lafferty right now. I don't know if we're going to have a replay on this or not, but he jumps in the air to try to corral this thing down and get it down to his teammates. Watch this. He's going to jump in the air. He's got two Wildcats pushing him with both forearms all the way to the ice. That had to be a little bit of force in there.
You know, and I think Colin O'Leary got his first shift out there. We've got a guy wearing number 38 in gray. And it seems like I remember when they wore gray before, it was O'Leary that had to wear the different number. But O'Leary played the JV game earlier. Briley Cronk, BKP.
Cronk
Prong, yep. Had some JV. Cronk Prong had a really nice goal early in the third period of that one. Nice shot from the right dot. South 2-on-1. South 6-1. Ernst that time. 5:43 to go in the second. Now a 5-goal lead for the Cougars.
Well, it's a 2-on-1 coming the other way, and the defenseman Nichols has got to make a decision. He's taking away the pass. And that time Ernst just beats Gly clean. And Gly, I'm sure, would like to have that another opportunity at that, but the lopsidedness on shots here is really reminiscent of what we've seen from this Wildcat program over the last few years when they've been up against a team that's just really dominating them. And right now, despite the fact that there have been some forays into the Lakeville South end, it has not been enough to be competitive.
11-16
Sixth of the year for Ernst, by the way. There's a big hit in the corner, standing his man up. And then a whack, and got away with the slash that time was A.J. Clark. Another shot, rebound, oh! Just missing that time. Doms with an opportunity for his second of the night.
I think Doms was surprised the puck came to him.
We've got a whistle because somebody's going to sit for 2 minutes, I believe. And it's going to be Lakeville South. Willis is going to sit for the Cougars. And a roughing is going to be the call. 11:48 to go, or 11:48 of the second period, I should say. 5:12 to go. Cats to go on the power play for the first time today.
That's right, Mike. And if you recall, our viewers might recall if they watched the East Ridge game, there was some credible Wildcat power play ice, some time, some ice time in that East Ridge game. Now, I think Lakeville South is probably a better team than East Ridge in terms of skill and speed, but let's see if the Wildcats can hold as they now turn the puck over. Absolutely. And it gets sent to the other end. Let's see if the Wildcats can enter the zone with the puck and actually set something up and create a scoring opportunity.
Instead, it's Pritchard the other way for South. Just taking up some valuable seconds in the zone. Aggressive forecheck there by number 3 in
Lakeville South penalty to number 18, Aiden Willis. 2 minutes for roughing.
That's the official call from Jeff Coleman, the public address announcer here today. Shot. Nice job by A.J. Clark in front to set a screen. Nearly got a tip that time, did Clark.
Nice job by Gerard. He saw his teammate there in a position to tip, and he sent it in.
There's Paulus behind the net. Lost the puck all the way down for South. And Glyle going to poke that one up ahead. And here come the Eagan Wildcats. Leading the rush is Gerard. Lost the puck. Out it comes. South going to come the other way. This is Ernst. He just scored. Made it 6-1. Can he make it 7-1? No. Forces Glide to make another save.
If the Cats hustle, they're going to have an opportunity in numbers on the other end.
And instead, they're going to stop and make a change. I think this is Nichols with the puck. Or to Ori. Ori tries to get it across. Paulus couldn't get a good shot off, but a nice setup by the Wildcats. Nice read from Ori to see his teammate over there.
Yeah, Ori frustrated that he's not able to cash that one in. Watch Ori here on the right side of your screen. He shoots that across.
We'd like to give a shout out to these EHS Wildcat
his teammate
hockey sponsors.
Riley Paulus had an opportunity. Riley Paulus just couldn't get his wood on the puck.
Fast recovery.
Paulus looking for career goal number 1, and boy, a great opportunity right there. Wildcats going to circle down low with under 30 to go on the man advantage. Quick shot. Hawksburg made the save that time. And avoiding the check, coming out this time for South. First time we've seen number 40, Garrett Koken, I believe is how you say it. Actually, they've got a different, try to see the name on 40, it's Scheffel. Owen Scheffel, he's a senior forward.
And they're going to take Keaton Ori for 2 minutes here as the puck's well gone. Ori winds up, hits Scheffel pretty hard. Puck was well gone, and that's just a mistake by Keaton Ori. It's kind of a mistake. Hey, we're on the power play. We had a couple of shots on goal, and now we come down to the other end, and because I want to hit somebody, he loses control, he gets emotional, loses control, and now he's going to sit for 2 minutes.
Yep. And he's one of the top defenders on this
Eagan
Eagan
penalty
squad.
To number 2, Keaton Ori, 2 minutes for interference.
Richard amongst 4 Wildcats, nearly got a shot off still. And now a man advantage for the Cougars with 1:36 of 5-on-4 hockey. Clafford will send down that right side, leave it up top. Pritchard over near side. Doms back to Pritchard. Shadowed that time by, I believe that's Goyle. Nope, check it, that was Glye. Gus Glye. Gabe Glye, the netminder for the Wildcats. Here's Willis. That goes high and wide of the cage. He was trying to go top corner. Eagan trying to get something coming out the other way. Good opportunity. Goyle. And that one goes wide. Halfway through this power play for the Cougars. 2:23 to go in the second. 6-1 South. Off the boards. Good speed coming down. Will be nice if it gets there. No. Forcing to play at that time was Glye. And guess who leading the sprinting down? Number 3, Pritchard.
Yeah, you can tell he smells blood in the water for a hat trick, and a hat trick at any level is a big deal. As Clark dumps that down now for the Wildcats, it's going to wrap around for Hawksburg, but I imagine Pritchard's not going to be passing up too much, and it's a small piece of intelligence, but if you're a Wildcat defender, number 3 is shooting. He's not passing for the rest of this game.
Well, you've seen him. He's circled so well in the Wildcat zone, whether it's 1-on-2, 1-on-3, and really, 1-on-4 even. Pritchard's been able to move amongst the Wildcat D. Kunkel, he would look to pass all the way that time, sends it across. Glide with the save. Can the Cats clear? No. Aggressive play that time.
Eagan,
Olin
full
coming
strength.
in as the Cats are back at full strength. Kunkel touches that with a high stick. And a good opportunity that time for Gerard. Gerard, quick shot. Oxburn makes the save with that glove. I like trying to go short side there by Gerard. Back in front, couldn't quite connect. That was Lockenmeyer coming down the slot wearing gray.
Solid effort by Gerard in the corner, created a couple of opportunities.
1 minute remaining in the second period. 1 minute.
O'Leary for the Wildcats. He gets tripped up at the blue line. Are they going to say offsides, or is there actually going to be a penalty? Cats tag up, and it is a tag up. Not going to be a penalty.
Well, I have to admit, I'm a little surprised that there was.
I am too.
He clearly tripped. Now, the question is, I think, Mike, the referee had the better view than we did here up in the box, but maybe he didn't trip. Let's see if we can watch here. Oh, yeah, it was just a collision.
Yeah, you're right.
It was a collision with one of the Lakeville South defenders, but, of course, arguably, that was leg to leg, knee to knee. That could have been a call, too, but in any event.
We shall play on. Moore tried to get something going, centering it in front. And Morgan, they're battling hard for the Wildcats. Cougars do not want to give one up here late to give Eagan any confidence going into the third period. Or I should say momentum, I guess, rather than confidence, but
Momentum, sure.
although with a 5-1 lead or a 5-goal lead, momentum, confidence, maybe one and the same. Nice intercept that time, long shot. That goes up into the netting. Keaton Ori there with a fine individual effort for the Wildcats. Shots 26-7.
Even if the score of the game gets, is not necessarily close, it's the game's not in doubt or in real question. I don't know that the Cats have it in them to have a 5-goal comeback. We can still see some very entertaining hockey here on individual shifts and individual plays.
Yep. 17. I'm not sure who that was for South that brought that puck in. Might have been Bougele, but anyway. After 34 minutes, it's the Lakeville South Cougars 6. Their Eagan Wildcats 1.
The Wildcats will head back to the locker room. The Cougars will also vacate the ice, and we'll see what the Cougars come up with here and how they run the third period. Most importantly, let's see how the Wildcats respond. I mean, this is not the way you want it to go, but it's the way it's gone. So can the Wildcats come out here in the third period, and can they win the third period? I think that would be the goal, my goal if I was in gray and blue.
Well, we will answer that question when we come back. You're watching Eagan Wildcat Hockey on ETV.
We'd like to give a shout out to these EHS Wildcat Boys hockey sponsors. AAA Auto, U Polar Parts, Sega.
Welcome back to the Eagan Civic Arena. My name is Nathan Cron. I'm here with Mike Cook, and it's South Suburban hockey action here between the Lakeville South Cougars and your Eagan Wildcats. Unfortunately, as you can see on the screen, the Lakeville South Cougars have really taken it to the Wildcats for the first two periods here at EAC. The Wildcats have tallied, and we're going to take a look at some of that right now. First, we're going to see the Cougars battling there and trying to get around the backside. We had some big hits here in the second period. And here's Clark finding Robbins across the net. It was a great cross-crease pass. That made it 4-1 at the time, and there was some real excitement and enthusiasm, but that was short-lived as you see Peyton Jensen laying out one of the Lakeville South Cougar players, and that sets up this power play goal by Aiden Willis, the senior captain here for the Cougars, somewhat anticlimactically celebrating his goal. And then the Cougars added another one in the form of Ernst. You see that there, beating Glai on the near side. And that sets up a third period where the Lakeville South Cougars and the Eagan Wildcats are going to skate. And we're going to see not only a new goaltender for the Eagan Wildcats, but we're going to see what kind of attitude and what kind of focus they have coming out here in this third period, Mike Cook.
Yeah, it looks like Marcus Boniface is going to go between the pipe. Well, he was out there. Yeah, as I'm looking over Glai, it looks like he's hopping back over the bench. So Marcus Boniface, number 29, going to take over between the pipes for the Wildcats. This will be his first career varsity action. He's a sophomore. He says the hockey player that inspires him the most is Marc-Andre Fleury. Favorite junk food is Sour Patch watermelons.
Well, Sour Patch watermelons are in the pantheon of the Sour Patch family, but I know a number of folks like them. Not the highest rated on my list.
No, I cringed a little bit just saying it.
Ooh, cringe a little saying it.
Yeah, absolutely. So bottom line, it's 6-1. So Glai's going to finish with 20 saves. Boniface is going to, like you said, this will be his first career action at the varsity level. Looks like Hawksprung still between the pipes for the Lakeville South Cougars. As long as we're talking goalies, Eagan JV, by the way, they lost by a 4-3 count. Very late goal that for the Cougars, but Jack Schneiderhan, first action in a long time, 22 saves for the Eagan Wildcats for that netminder.
Yeah, Wildcats outshot the Lakeville South Cougars
40 to 26,
40 to
26, yeah. Yep. Again, it was a 2-2 game early in the third, and then a couple of defensive breakdowns. Cougars took the lead. Cats got a late one, but couldn't quite come all the way back. I believe that's just the third loss of the year for the Wildcat JV, as Clark tried to go 5-hole that time on Hawksprung. Minute gone by, third period. In a very quiet Eagan Civic Arena right now. And all the way down should be an icing, and Boniface lets that one slide by. Hey, quick mention. Let's talk about our ETV crew before the All-Star crew here tonight on MLK Monday Matinee.
Absolutely. Directing and producing today, we've got Joe Chupik. On camera, Mia Pardo and Ken Trainer. And on sound and replay, Greg Borman. Thanks to our award-winning ETV crew for making you and I sound and look really, really good.
Yeah, there's a reason they don't put our mugs on there. It's just give us a mic and say talk. But yeah, those guys, they do all the work, guys and gals. They do all the work to bring you Wildcat hockey and really Wildcat sports across the spectrum throughout the year. And again, stuff's always on YouTube if you want to watch the follow-up or watch the replay for whatever reason, whatever sport. I noticed, by the way, Hudson Kerr out there right now, number 38. We owe Hudson a bit of an apology. We said it was Colin O'Leary earlier. And Boniface with his first career save, and it's a beauty. Gets that right pad out.
And Boniface had to be really good there. That was a little defensive breakdown as Lakeville South was able to knife their way through the defense, but Boniface equal to the task. It's good to see that opportunity for that young man.
That goes just wide of the cage. Cats have scored. They've been scoring a little bit. They had 4 the other day at North, 3 and 3 the 2 games before that. But boy, Lakeville South has just really controlled the action tonight. Or this afternoon, I should say.
Well, one of the things that Lakeville South is doing really well, and they've done all afternoon, is control the puck. When you control the puck, pass it accurately, skate with it confidently, when you do that, the other team can't score. The other team can't get shots on goal. And so even if you're not necessarily shooting and putting it on net, if the other team can't get the puck, there's nothing they can do with it.
Yep. Boniface just threw that one around. Comes the Wildcats. Gerard the left. He tries to get it across. Nearly went off a skate, or did go off a skate and nearly into the Cougar net, but Hawksburg, nice quick cat-like reaction there to keep it out.
For Eagan, number 29, Marcus Boniface.
Well, let's take a look at Boniface, the Eagan netminder. There was Hawksprung, but Marcus Boniface, his first action as a varsity player. Welcome to the show.
Absolutely. Great right leg pad there.
And here comes Lakeville South the other way. This is 16, Cullen Ryan. First time we've called Cullen's name tonight for the Cougars.
Shouldn't let that great rush from Ben Gerard and that opportunity pass unmentioned either. Gerard with a nice opportunity there. Just didn't come off. It was really unfortunate. But Hawksburg really had to stretch there to make sure that didn't get into the blue paint.
Yeah, Gerard is out there right now with Grayson Robbins on one wing. And I believe, looks like 27, Gus Glye might be being double shifted right now for the Wildcats. Puck kind of poked over. Robbins will kind of reach in. Just enough to disrupt the flow, and the Cats are able to come out the other way. Briefly, as the Cougars were able to regroup. Weidman, number 12. I think the first time we've called his name tonight as well for the Cougars. Some time. He's out there with 23, Will Corton. As of right now, and Ernst is out there as well, but that might just be because the Cougars are in the midst of making a line change.
Well, I imagine.
Or whistled for offside, or icing.
Yep. Forgive me, Mike Cook. I was just mentioning. I think what we're going to see from the Cougars, if the early of the period here is any indication, we're going to see some guys who don't get as much ice time, and I think that's wise. If you're Lakeville South, not only do you want to stay healthy and stay sharp, but you also want to make sure that other guys in your roster get ice time and get some experience. Lakeville South's not playing just to win this game. They're not playing just even to win this conference. Lakeville South's trying to play at the X in a couple months.
Absolutely.
And to do that, you're going to need a big, deep team.
Nice job, though, by Jensen to intercept what would have been a break for Ernst. That was a great outlet pass from, I didn't catch who that was coming out of the South zone, but you're right, this Lakeville South team, you would think they've got to be the Section 1AA favorites at this point in the hockey season. You assume it's going to be them and North in the final.
You certainly would make that assumption. And based on past experience, as Murray goes back for that one, there's good reason to think that that's likely what's going to happen.
We were saying you and I are both we're old enough to remember like when Rochester JM was a state power, and Mayo's had some moments. You said Owatonna earlier. You mentioned them a little bit. Another shot, that was just wide already. More. The shot actually, Hawksburg got a piece of it. And that puck is staying in the playing surface. Here comes Ernst, he's got one. Watched by Kerr. Big hit behind the play, and there's going to be a penalty on the Wildcats. And Ori is absolutely livid that he's getting called.
And I'm going to level with you. I think he's got a point.
I do too.
I think he's got a point. The Lakeville South player leaves his skates. Watch this replay. Lakeville player leaves his skates. Ori's not even facing him. He tries to jump through Ori. I got producers shaking their head at me, telling me that I'm wrong, but it might be maybe interference. Maybe an interference call. Maybe that's what we're talking about here.
Well, now what are we talking? Because they're looking at the Wildcat bench. Are they talking more than just a 2?
How in the world can that be more than just a 2-minute minor?
I don't know.
Again, he's not even facing him. He didn't even hit him.
Just 2 up on the board.
Yeah, he didn't. He's turned away from him. The Lakeville South player tries to jump through him or around him and ends up into the boards. I don't know. Like I said, I don't get it. I don't know anything about hockey.
Well, we know Lakeville South is
penalty to number 2, Keaton Ori, 2 minutes for roughing.
Well, there's the official word from Jeff Colemaner.
I mean, there was a lot of noise and it looked bad and the player was down for a second, but that doesn't mean you get a penalty, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm sure somebody will school me up on social media later about it.
Boniface with another save that time for the Wildcats. Heavy cross. Willis couldn't quite get that shot off. Cougars looking to put this one in running time. Pritchard's already got 4 points tonight, 2 goals, a couple of assists. Again, South just keeping this one in the Eagan zone. Pritchard back up top, send it near side. Here's Doms. Doms posting in. For Doms, I believe that will be number 2. Number 2 for Doms in this one. Doesn't have any helpers, but bottom line, another power play goal for the Cougars. And we welcome you to running time here in South Suburban Conference play.
Well, I was just about to compliment the defense for blocking shots and getting down to kind of take away opportunities for what is obviously a very good Lakeville South team. And of course, then one just sneaks under Boniface's pad. It looked like it went under his pad.
Yeah, you could hear the ping up here too. So 2 for 3 on the power play for the Cougars. Cats now down by a 7-1 count. Tried to get in front that time. That was Moore, I think, was the intended target. Check that 24 on the ice now. Briley Conk-Prune, KP they call him.
Power play goal scored by Lakeville South. Scored by number 22. Ashton Doms, assisted by number 3, Tate Pritchard.
Another save there for Boniface, and
and that'll give Pritchard 5 points today. 2 goals, 3 helpers. Again, with a 6-goal lead, we are in running time. Shots 31-9. And we know we've mentioned on other broadcasts, the Cats they've been in the teams a lot this year for shots on goal. And again, just something you've got to work on. I don't know how you work on something like that.
Well, the Cats have had a handful of opportunities, I don't know, maybe a dozen or so, maybe 10 to a dozen, where the puck has missed the net, right? It's just they've had shots towards goal, but they've missed the net.
And that one was tipped, by the way. Paulus hustles in for Eagan.
And so you get half of those on net, and suddenly you're looking at, instead of 9, you're looking at maybe 18.
Oh, Hawksprung with a nice save that time. Was Robbins in front, number 10, took a nice little check for his efforts. Robbins, who got his first career goal back in the second period to make it 4-1. You take a look at that replay. But I like the aggressiveness here. Riley Paulus down. Battles with Patterson. Puck was centered. Paulus and Patterson continue to battle. And tell who that was on the Wildcats that came in to help out. It might have been Lockenmeyer. Thought I saw a 9 on the sleeve. Lockenmeyer is 19. Right now it's Lockenmeyer out there with Moore and Gus Gley.
Wildcats still have an opportunity here, Mike Cook, to win this period, right? Yep. I mean, they're down 1-0 in the period. Let's see if they can win this period. Get a goal, maybe 2. Get this out of running time, create some opportunities, get some momentum going into tomorrow night against a tough game against the Rosemount Irish. Yep.
Yeah, we're looking at it. Rosemount record-wise, they're 5-9, but they're 4-3 in conference play. Again, records are so deceiving because it's a matter of who do you play. I mean, Lakeville South comes into this one. They're 6-4-1, but their losses are to Rogers, who's now 9-2-3. A 14-1 Chanhassen squad. Benilda's 10-4, and then they got beat at Rosemount the other night. Well, it's not like you're losing to, bad teams.
No, absolutely not.
And that only makes you better. Cats gonna get something going this time. Nope, another turnover for the Eagan Wildcats. Pritchard, Willis, Pritchard, Hattie. Throw your headwear, ladies and gentlemen. That's 3 for Pritchard. 8-1 Cougars.
Well, it just looked a little bit too easy there. as they got Boniface sliding to his right, and Pritchard's able to draw a stick back to beat Boniface on the left side.
And I would guess that's the last time we see Pritchard on the ice tonight.
I would imagine.
Yeah, Tate Pritchard, the senior.
Sure.
We'll wait for the official word from Jeff Colomanen, but pretty good afternoon for that senior. Kind of a big hit that time as Ishi Hoffman, number 8, out on the ice for the Cougars. Might be his first shift of the hockey game. Beaujolais out there. Billings, we haven't seen those guys for a while. Back on defense, this is Camden Crawford on his first time.
Scored by number 3, Tate Pritchard, assisted by number 18, Aiden Willis, and number 9, Camden Crawford.
Obviously not Crawford's first shift, he had an assist there.
A special thanks to our Eagan Hockey Association sponsors who continue to support youth and high school hockey. Ansari's Mediterranean Grill,
So for
Eagan Arms,
number 18, Aiden Willis, he's got a goal and 2 helpers today for the Cougars.
Wildcats Bar and Grill.
Again, Lakeville South, they play tomorrow night as well. They've got Prior Lake, and that's going to be at the Dakota Ice Center. Interesting schedule. We were looking earlier. Of the last 12 games for Lakeville South, 8 of them will be at Hasse Arena. So that's kind of an interesting way to finish your second half, or for the second half of the season.
Yeah, you wouldn't bet against Lakeville South losing too many of those games.
No, I
Mike
wouldn't
Cook.
either.
Not
No.
at all.
No, and what we see today, I mean, they're fast, they pass the puck well. And you can tell these guys, they've played together for a while, and that should be the case when you've got 13 seniors on your varsity roster. Second shift of the game for Scheffel. He's a senior. Number 40 in maroon or crimson, or out in front. Hawksprung, did he get through off his skate, and somehow he falls on it. And that's the kind of puck luck the Eagan Wildcats have had.
Well, you need a little bit of puck luck to score in this conference. Look, Riley KP's got an opportunity, and it gets slid back in.
That would have been Riley Paulus with another. He had back in the second period, he had a nice feed, couldn't get a good shot off. Nearly gets a fluke right there. Riley's got to be thinking, when am I ever going to score a goal? Again, he's going to be playing lacrosse next year at, was it Lewis College or Lewis University in Illinois? Here comes Ernst. He got one way, well, it feels like it was a long time ago, but it was back in the second. Big run that time by Zach, and a little extra pushing and shoving over there by Goyle. 4 minutes to go, or 4:05, as we've got a whistle because Goyle's going to go on a rough, and probably a deserved rough.
Yeah, there's a lot of I have to say, there's a lot of frustration.
No, it was before then. That's
Ori before
Ori.
then.
Yep.
And then later, I think Goyle takes a run at one of the Lakeville South Cougars at the point.
It might have been the one just outside the Wildcat bench too.
And I understand absolutely, and I understand the frustration, but you gotta keep it under control.
And you said one of your Wildcat captains right there was Goyle. Well, we get it. Hockey's an emotional game. 3:25 to go inside a very quiet Eagan Civic Arena. Boniface, initial save, and makes a second save as well. I like that. Squared him up nicely.
He did a nice job there of getting to it, and I think that if what you're looking for is positives, players getting their first goals like Grayson Robbins, Marcus Boniface showing that he can be, credible between the pipes is not a bad thing. None of that's a bad thing if you're a Wildcat fan.
Gonna head the Wildcats. We said they're at Rosemount tomorrow, the 17th. At Eastview on the 20th. That's a Friday night tilt. Then our next broadcast, Tuesday, January 24th, when the Prior Lake Lakers come to the Eagan Civic Arena. That's a 7 o'clock start. South just continuing to circle. They've got a couple of power play goals already today in 3 opportunities. Billings from way out. That goes just wide, and a whistling or a wrister. Nice job that time to clear it out by the Wildcats.
Good use
That
of
was
that
Murray.
glass. Yeah, good job, Lance Murray.
Aggressive forecheck that time. That's Eddie Moore coming in. Colin O'Leary as well. Lafferty high. Lafferty, another opportunity. Little knuckler actually was deflected on the way through. And the puck is out. Cats with the PK that time.
Eagan,
So there's Bougele. Puck was offsides, however, with just over 90 seconds to go in this one. Again, Lakeville South 8, the Wildcats 1. I was kind of joking with somebody after the second period. Lakeville South had 6 goals. Eagan had 7 shots, and they said, will Eagan have more shots than Lakeville South has goals? Eagan is going to come. They are going to accomplish that. But that's just the kind of day it's been here for the Eagan Wildcats against the number 11 team in the state, according to the latest Let's Play Hockey rankings.
1 minute remaining in the third period. 1 minute.
Robbins in deep for the Wildcats. Grayson Robbins got that first career goal, 13th career game. Up, out. Norrie be forced to regroup. Sheffel far side, he gets the shot. That goes wide of Boniface. As of right now, Boniface will finish with 10 saves. Yeah, make it 11. And he'll hang on to the puck. Referees will be far from anxious to drop this one. Great change. You watch the final seconds tick away. And we are not going to drop the puck as time expires. Billings was a little upset with 17 Gerard for something or other, but
He was upset for the referee not dropping the puck.
yeah, well, yeah, that.
In fact, the linesman didn't drop the puck. The referees thinking of giving.
I think they want to get out of here too.
Yeah, well, he was chirping at Billings saying, basically be quiet. You guys don't sully a great opportunity and a great result with something silly after the whistle.
Yep.
The Lakeville South Cougars really demonstrating a lot of quality here today, Mike Cook. No question that they're an excellent hockey team as you see some of these highlights rolling out. The Wildcats did not play great hockey, and when they play good teams and don't play great hockey, it's going to end up really going south and sideways for them. Big opportunity tomorrow night, though, against the Rosemount Irish. The Rosemount Irish are a good hockey team as well. One thing I like, though, for the Wildcats tomorrow night, it is a rivalry game.
Absolutely.
Everybody's going to be, if the number of hits in this game, the number of physical hits in this game, not very many. Tomorrow night, it's going to be hit after hit after hit. Everybody's going to be hitting each other tomorrow night. Everybody's going to be playing physical. The Wildcats have a few things they got to build on. They pick the 30 seconds where we had good shifts. Pick the few good saves we have. Pick the goal that we had. Pick that up. Get better tomorrow night. Get better this week, and roll into the second half of the season.
So the Wildcats, they fall to 3-10 overall, 0-7 in conference play. Cougars 7-4-1, 5-1 in SSC action. And by the way, for those of you who want to watch that Rosemount game, I believe the Irish do stream their home games, so check out on the web somewhere for that. But that will not be an ETV broadcast. Again, our next broadcast, the 24th, Prior Lake here in the Civic Arena. So on behalf of the entire award-winning ETV crew, he's Nathan Cron. I'm Mike Cook. Thanks for being with us. Happy MLK Day. And we'll see you next time for Wildcat Hockey on ETV.